I wanted to introduce you all to Lifeline screenings. It is something that I believe in. My whole lot in life is about prevention. I have with us Alicia, who is a part of Lifeline screenings. And before I even jump in and ask her this question, this is what I want you to know. About 20 years ago, my parents started going to get screened for heart disease. And my bonus dad, through these screenings, found out that he had AFib. He had a heart issue going on that his doctor did not find. This is a true story. That through the Lifeline screenings, that's how he found out that he had an issue because it was silent. And then he took it to his doctor and they were able to support him. Who knows what would have happened if he didn't get that information beforehand? So, for those who have no idea, what is Lifeline screenings or what is this? What is this all about?
Thank you for having me on, Robin. I love
Yes.
speaking with you and I love all the advice you give. And it's really important what we're going to talk about today and share with your followers. Lifeline Screening is the leading provider of preventive health screenings, specifically to detect a person's risk of having a stroke or cardiovascular disease. And the
Okay.
reason that's really important is kind of like your dad experienced.
Yeah.
People who have a stroke, for 80% of people who have a stroke, they don't
Hmm.
have any symptoms leading up to the
Correct.
stroke. So a screening is a way for you to be proactive just to see, do you have any risk factors? And if you do,
Okay.
then you can take action.
So these are preventative screenings. What type of screening? I know that there are 4 or 5 screenings that are featured. Can you share what those screenings are?
Yep, it's all done in one appointment, which is super
Okay.
convenient. The first screening is a carotid artery screening, and that's done with an ultrasound. So we do it on the left and right side of your neck, and we're looking for the plaque buildup in the carotid artery. So the more plaque that's there, the higher your risk of having a stroke or cardiovascular disease. Second one is an ultrasound that's done on the stomach, and it's looking for an abdominal aortic aneurysm. And that's something, again, has no symptoms leading up to it. It can be fatal, even if it ruptures in a hospital. But if you find out that you have one, it's so fixable and it's a minor procedure. So that's the
Okay.
second one, an abdominal aortic aneurysm screening. The third one is called peripheral arterial disease screening, and it's
Hmm.
done on the arms and legs. And it's similar to those blow up blood pressure cuffs that you get at the
Hmm.
doctor, only we put them on the wrists and the ankles and blow them up, and it compares the circulation in your arms and legs. So if there's a difference, it could indicate that there's a clot somewhere. And then the fourth one is AFib. So it's a 6-lead EKG. We've used those suction cup stickers on the top
Hmm.
portion of your chest to look for irregular heartbeat, like your bonus dad had. And then the last one we do is a osteoporosis screening on your shin to look for bone density.
Why can't you just go to your regular doctor and get these screenings done and use your insurance?
That's the question that everyone starts out with. You can
Yes.
get this done through your doctor. However, even if you have insurance, insurance doesn't normally cover screenings unless you have symptoms. And we're
Correct.
looking for people who are asymptomatic, but there's these
Hmm.
silent issues that really can be fatal or debilitating. If you
Got
go to
it.
your doctor, it could be very expensive, like over $1,000 just to get a carotid artery screening. So it's way
Mhm.
more affordable and way more convenient with Lifeline screening.
And affordable is an understatement. Honestly, these, and we'll share what
Mhm.
the screening packages are, but it's super affordable. And again, my bonus dad, that's what he went to through the screenings and found what was going on, and his doctors would not have found it. They weren't just looking for it. So you guys don't take insurance, but it's a very affordable rate. And so how does it work? Does someone just register? How does it, do they go to the hospital? How does all the procedure of this?
It's
How's
super
this?
simple. We've made a point to make it really convenient for people. So what they
Okay.
want to do is click on your affiliate link. When they click on that, they'll come over to our site and there'll be a button that says Get Started. Click on that button and enter your zip code, and you'll see all the locations near them where the screenings will be located. And we set up in churches, we set up in synagogues, we set up in hotels and conference centers and dance halls all across the country. So in 2025, we'll be hosting a little over 15,000 screening events across the US. We are in every state except Alaska and Hawaii. Book their appointment. They can find the location near them at the time that they want, put their information in and schedule their appointment, and they're good to go.
And when you all make your appointment through the Necessary Nutrition link, there's going to be a discount and also a screening added. So Alicia mentioned the one for bone density. If you were just to go on their website, that one is not included, but that one is special for us. And you can get bone density from your traditional doctor. However, you have to be 65 and above, maybe, before they start doing the bone density. And at that time, it may be too late. If you're starting to do it earlier, you can see if there is a progression year by year and take mitigative steps. This is about prevention. I just did these screenings. No, they don't hurt. Painless, simple. You don't have to get undressed. When they did my abdominals, they just raised up my shirt a little bit. Simple, easy peasy. The report comes to you in about 2 weeks. I remember them saying to me, there's no emergency or nothing, alarming happening.
We notify them as we're doing the screening. So in the carotid artery screening, and let's say they see a blockage, maybe it's 80% blocked, our team will download that ultrasound onto a USB drive. We'll give it to the participant. We'll let them know, hey, this is a critical factor. You need to follow up with a doctor and bring this. This is the results we're seeing. Now, when they go to their doctor, since there's a finding, it should be covered by their insurance.
Got it. So you do the Lifeline screenings, you get the report, and if all is well, great. Make this a yearly habit. If there's something, then you can take it to your doctor evidence and say, this is a concern.
Right.
And they need to look at that if there is a concern. How long has Lifeline screenings been around?
We've been around since 1993. And in that time, we've screened over 11 million people across the United States. It just shows the credibility that people believe in us. They make our screenings a regular part of their preventive health routine.
This actually happened to my mother as well, is that when she started getting the screening, she had some blockage. And then over time, because I'm her daughter and I'm her number one fan, I said, Mom, let me work my nutrition magic on you. And over time, the blockage had decreased.
Wow.
So y'all that are listening, and this is what I love. I love evidence. I love that you can see, so you can get a report. And if we don't want there to be any blockages, but if there are, bring it to me and we will work diligently on your lifestyle, on things we know that you can do to reverse that and mitigate that. And that 100%. I love.
I think I just really like to stress to people, it is so much easier and it's so much more affordable to be preventive than to have to deal with a health emergency after the fact. When we're talking about strokes, they are the 5th leading cause of death for people in the United States. So if you go get these screenings and you realize you're at risk and it's going to cost you some supplements or maybe some exercise or whatever you would prescribe to them, that is way easier than dealing with something more serious down the line and after the fact.
This is for you if you are a woman over 40.
Yes.
Definitely in that menopausal space, because we are more prone to heart challenges as our estrogen is doing whatever it does. It's a protective factor that we no longer have. Also, if you have a history in your family of heart disease, stroke, aneurysms, then absolutely you should.
And you really want to do it every year so you can watch the progress.
There you are, Necessary Nutrition. You heard it here. I believe in it so much. I'm doing it. My parents have been doing it. I'm all about prevention. With that being said, the link to schedule yours is around this video. You put in your zip code, they're in close proximity to wherever you are, and you schedule it, and it takes about an hour. It's worth it. It's peace of mind.
If you can get peace of mind in these times when it's so stressful, it is
Correct.
worth it.
That alone, the stress is tightening our ability to not be well. So you want to know if internally or if you're well or not. Use it as a tool. If you have any questions, let me know. And thank you so much, Alicia, for coming and sharing that information. And we're together, we'll help some folks. That's the intention,
I
is
love
to
it.
help. Thank you so much.